From LA to Piscataway, all Big Ten all year long. This is Big Ten 10.
Badgers and the Scarlet Knights, noon Eastern on Peacock. All right, so this game in Madison, and this is a very intriguing matchup to me. You've got Rutgers, who's playing really good on the defensive side of the football in a really good defensive conference. They're ranked right now in the top half of this conference. Wisconsin right now is coming off of a bye. Let's start on the offensive side here for your Scarlet Knights. Okay, because I tweeted this out earlier today. Wisconsin dead last in the Big Ten right now in passing defense. And we just were talking about how Gavin Wimsatt takes what the defense gives them. Do you think, I know this is a run-based offense, right? Kyle Monangai and all those guys back there. But do you think there will be some passing opportunities open for Gavin to take advantage of on Saturday?
I think there needs to be. I think for me, the fascinating thing with this offense and with Schiano's philosophy is it's no secret, right? He wants to wear teams down with the run. Yep. But I think if you're gonna win in Madison, you gotta have some big pass plays, and obviously, like you said, the Wisconsin defense is prone to that. Jaquay Jackson's been a guy that's made some big plays deep. You have Christian Dremel, and then also Isaiah Washington, Ian Strong. These are guys that have all made great individual plays at one point or another this year, and I think that Rutgers is going to have a few big pass plays to A, open up the run game, but B, I'm not so confident that, they're going to be able to win 14-10 in terms of, time of possession and all that. I know that Schiano probably, wants to win that way, but I think at some point, for me, what is the coaching staff going to do when those opportunities present itself? Do they get a turnover in Wisconsin territory? Do they go for it? Are they going to go for a big pass play right away? I think that type of urgency they're going to need. I'm not so confident they can go in there and just kind of, expect to run the ball for 35 minutes and wear Wisconsin down. I still think that defense is adjusting to that new gap scheme that they're playing under Tressel. And, it's going to be really interesting. But, yes, long story short, I think that Wimsatt definitely needs to have some big completions. He's going to have to keep his composure, of course. And it's going to have to be a balancing act. He can't force it. But I think, like you said, what the defense gives them, he's got to be able to capitalize.
Yeah, so here's the thing that at least I look at it from a Wisconsin point of view. You got to stop the run. You got to stop the run in this game because now, considering what you have on the back end in that secondary and what they're giving up, almost 250 yards per game through the air. Now, if you're able to have run with pass, play action, linebackers, everybody, defensive back step up, you go over the top on man, it's going to be challenging. So Wisconsin's got to be in a mindset where we got to have Gavin Wimsatt beat us. And who knows, maybe that could happen. We were just kind of talking about that right now. Rutgers has the 4th ranked defense in the Big Ten in all major categories. That's total, that's rushing, that's passing. So you got a Wisconsin offense right now. Tanner Mordecai, he's a decent to good quarterback. He's mobile. You've got Braelon Allen in there. They were kind of leaning a little bit towards Ches Malusi early on, but now he's out for the season. How do you think this Rutgers defense matches up against this Wisconsin offense?
Yeah, I think the Wisconsin offense can definitely pose some problems. I think, in the trenches is going to be huge. For the Rutgers defensive line, we all think and hope that this is a top 5 defensive line in the Big Ten. And I think this is a huge opportunity for them to prove it on Saturday. They have much more depth than they've had in the past. They have a lot of guys on the edge that can be disruptive. The biggest thing with the Rutgers defense that we're looking for is for them to cause turnovers against good teams. That's where they've been lacking. They've been able to do it against, inferior competition. Against Michigan, no turnovers. I think for an offense that's developing and I do think is getting better, I think they're going to have to help them out in terms of getting them some short fields in this game to get some points. I don't think you can rely on Rutgers to go, have 4 80-yard drives to produce 20-plus points. They're going to have to get something out of their defense, and I think that's whether it's interceptions. I do think Mordecai, dual quarterbacks do cause Rutgers problems at times, but it's a matter of can the front 4 get pressure on a consistent basis without having to do too much in terms of blitzing, being able to stay home. Their linebackers are excellent in pass coverage. with Tyreen Powell and Deion Jennings. So the secondary is growing. It's a fascinating matchup. But yeah, can they stop Allen and Mordecai? I think that's the story. I think that they can certainly be competitive. I think it's a matter of I don't like Wisconsin coming off the bye. I think that, they had time to adjust with the loss of Malusi. And, I know that Wisconsin's saying they don't want to lean on Allen so much, but I think that's going to be pretty tough to resist, especially if he's able to get some chunk yardage early on.
Yeah, that's the thing is, with Phil Longo coming in, everybody, and Tanner Mordecai, everybody was talking about spreading out. Wisconsin's going to look so different, yet when they've looked the best this season, it's been classic since 1990 Wisconsin football. It's been Barry Alvarez football. You line up, and you run it with number 0, and you pound it with a big physical running back. Like that's what they've looked their best. Now, you talk about turnovers. That's a very interesting thing because Tanner Mordecai has been at least prone to maybe force things, even though the last couple of weeks, I think he's been pretty good. So that's going to be very interesting to see if Rutgers can kind of bait him in to certain situations right now. What would if Rutgers is able to get it done, if they're able to go into Madison and do this thing, what would that mean? What would a win in this situation mean for the Scarlet Knights?
Well, it would be huge. It would be a huge statement win. It'd be the biggest win of, I think, Schiano's tenure since he's been back. It would put them at 5-1. It would put them at 2-1 in the Big Ten. It would be a perception changer for sure. With coming home to Michigan State and then at Indiana, I mean, you have a real shot there to have a special season in terms of starting 7-1. Certainly can't take that for granted, especially as a Rutgers fan. We know that the winnable games can sometimes fall apart. But that being said, I think the most encouraging part about this team is they've been playing clean football. And it's not just a lack of penalties. They're at 9th nationally, 30-something yards. Only 2 sacks allowed. They've only dropped 5 passes all year. They're only averaging 4 to 5 missed tackles a game. I mean, they're executing. They're playing well. They're not making mistakes. And against inferior competition, they've been able to make their opponents pay for their own mistakes. So I think that you're on the road. You're going to have to force some mistakes by Wisconsin, and you're going to have to take advantage of them. And I think that's really going to be the key. When those opportunities present themselves, can they come through?
Thanks for watching Big Ten Ted, where it's all Big Ten all year long. Make sure to like the video to spread the word of Big Ten Ted to the masses, and subscribe to the channel for updates on Big Ten content that drops every day.